What's happening there, guys, and welcome back to our channel. Many people believe that professional soccer players live above the law. When they get into trouble with the law, they seem to get away easily without barely a slap on the wrist. However, as soccer players are punished on the field with yellow and red cards, they're not actually above the law off the field either. In the records is also the list of those who have been caught breaking the law in no particular order and have been made to pay the punishment. Here are 5 soccer players who spent time in jail. Number 5. Adam Chapman. In 2009, Chapman filed a petition of guilt for causing the death of another man due to his reckless driving. He was sentenced to jail for 30 months in a youth offenders institute. The young Irishman had been released from prison in October 2011 and he resumed his career with Oxford United. He has scored 5 goals in his Oxford United career. Number 4. Tony Adams. Tony Adams was one of the best footballers of his generation. He has spent his entire career of 22 years in Arsenal. This English player battled alcoholism throughout his career. He was also sentenced to 4 months in prison in December 1990. However, he was released in February of the following year. The former Arsenal captain was again arrested after crashing his car into a wall near his house. When he was tested after the accident, he was found to be drunk 27 times over the legal alcohol limit. Tony Adams is also known as Mr. Arsenal for his outstanding contributions to the club. Over his 22-year career, he led the club and won 4 league titles and 3 FA Cups, and he also served as a captain for 14 years. However, Adams spent 58 days in Kempsford prison following his 1990 conviction for drunk driving. After his release, he said the jail didn't help him in rehabilitation and he didn't learn anything. Fortunately, in the 2000s, Adams finally founded the Sporting Chance Clinic, a charity that's used to support athletes suffering from addiction and give them their precious lives back. Number 3. James Cardero. It's a twist on why James Cardero was jailed for something which happened on the pitch. During the 2006 FA Cup match, James was playing for Barrow. He punched Sean Rigg of Bristol Rovers. The punch left Rigg with a double fracture of the jaw and forced him to eat with a tablespoon and drink through a straw. After the incident was seen on Match of the Day that night in England, Cardero was banned from all football by the English FA until March of 2007. In January 2007, Cardero was sentenced to 4 months in prison after being found guilty of severe bodily harm. Despite being released just a few weeks later in February from jail, he was put under house arrest and was forced to wear an ankle bracelet in his house. That's why it was even impossible for him to walk in his house freely and was bound to stay in one room. Number 2. Peter Swan. Peter Swan was one of the greatest players the world has ever witnessed. He played for Sheffield Wednesday and won incredibly, but he will not be remembered for that though. He had the potential of being a world-class player. Swan spent 8 of his best years of life as he was banned from football by the FA. In 1962, Swan and 2 other Wednesday teammates laid a bet that whoever loses their final match of the season to Ipswich Town FC will win. Ipswich won the game by 2-0, and on the other side, Swan also said that they won the game fairly. He also said that he doesn't know what he would have done had Wednesday been winning, but when the gambling ring had been found out, it was proof that Swan and his teammates did match fixing. Swan was banned from football and was later sentenced to 4 months in prison. Number 1. Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho is one of the greatest footballers of all time. Ronaldinho found himself in the course of a fake passport controversy in 2020, leading to him getting jailed where he had to spend 5 months in prison. After all, the court found out that the Brazilian footballer is guilty of hammering up his passport documents while traveling to Paraguay in 2020, causing him to be sentenced to 5 years in prison along with his brother Roberto de Assis. However, the pair were offered a plea bargain which reduced their sentence to 5 months from 5 years, and they were asked to submit a fine of $200,000. Both brothers spent their time in Asuncion prison, where Ronaldinho celebrated his 40th birthday. After his Brazilian and Spanish passports were seized as part of another charge of unpaid taxes against him in 2019, Over 50 of his properties were also taken hold of as part of the investigation, and it was also reported that the money had left less than £10 in his bank account. He has served in time in the same prison as convicted murderers, thieves, and other high-security inmates, though he was kept in a different part of the facility. Before the bail, he also spent 32 days in jail. Although the unfortunate scenarios that Ronaldinho Jr. and his brothers were faced with, he still made headlines for his football prowess. Despite having so much money and fame, nobody is above the law. Everybody is responsible for their own deeds. Leave us your thoughts in the comments down below about all of this, and I'll catch you guys later in another great video. Bye now.